Saint Joseph of Cupertino. Patron of aviation, astronauts, mental handicaps, test-taking, and students. Born on June 17, 1603, in Cupertino, Italy, Giuseppe Dessa, later known as Joseph of Cupertino, came into the world as the son of a poor family. His early life was marked by difficulties, especially in his education. Despite his earnest efforts, Joseph struggled with learning, and was often regarded as a dunce by his peers. His father, a struggling carpenter, faced severe financial hardship. And when Joseph was born, the family's belongings were being seized by bailiffs. As a child, Joseph was frequently sick, malnourished, and neglected, often teetering on the brink of death. His mother, hardened by life's struggles, viewed him as a constant burden, and Joseph was acutely aware of this. He considered himself clumsy and incapable, never seeking special treatment despite his shortcomings. His awkwardness and absent-mindedness often left him unable to finish stories or articulate his thoughts clearly. By the age of 17, Joseph believed his only option was to become a friar, relying on begging for his sustenance, since he was incapable of learning any trade. In 1620, he joined the Capuchin Franciscan order as a lay brother. However, his lack of academic skills made the path to priesthood challenging. The friars questioned his suitability for the priesthood, finding his learning difficulties and frequent bouts of piety and distraction to be unbearable. His time with the Capuchins, like his previous apprenticeships, ended without success. His mother was not thrilled to have Joseph back home, so she arranged for him to be accepted as a simple servant at the Franciscan monastery. Assigned to the stable, he was given the role of keeper of the monastery mule, a position where he could do little harm. Despite his perceived dullness, Joseph had a naturally cheerful disposition and never complained about his duties. After several years, his simplicity, good-naturedness, and devotion impressed the local friars. They frequently visited the stable for various reasons, and Joseph was always there to greet them warmly. His superiors hoped that by assigning him to his studies, Joseph might eventually be able to learn enough to be ordained. However, his academic efforts seemed futile. Despite his best intentions, he struggled greatly with reading and writing, and could never satisfactorily expound on the Sunday Gospel for his professors. There was only one text that resonated with him, from St. Luke, Beatus venter que te portavit. On this passage, Joseph could speak eloquently, drawing on a deep understanding that went beyond his bookish knowledge. Despite his educational challenges, Joseph was ordained a priest in 1628. This ordination is often seen as a testament to divine grace, showing that Christ chooses whom he will for the priesthood. To become a deacon or a priest, candidates had to pass a special examination in the presence of the bishop. With little hope for success, Joseph was sent to take the test. When the bishop randomly opened the New Testament and saw the text, Beatus venter que te portavit, he asked Joseph to speak upon it. To everyone's amazement, Joseph spoke with such depth and enthusiasm that he seemed like a master in theology engrossed in a favorite topic. His impressive discourse led to his appointment as a deacon. A year later, When Joseph was examined for the priesthood, the bishop had already heard several impressive candidates. As a result, he approved the remaining candidates, including Joseph, without further questioning. His devotion to prayer and the sacraments remained steadfast. And through these spiritual practices, he experienced a profound mystical transformation. Joseph began to have intensely vivid visions that would leave him captivated for entire days. When he was caught up in a vision, he would stand completely still, unmovable and insensible, like a statue. The breathing would try to jolt him back to his senses with pins and burning embers. But he felt nothing. Only a direct command from his superiors could bring him back to reality. Joseph began to undergo intense spiritual ecstasies and levitations, which both amazed and sometimes unsettled those around him. During Mass and prayer, he would often rise off the ground and float in the air. Many perceived these miraculous occurrences as evidence of his profound connection with God. Despite these extraordinary experiences, Joseph remained humble and frequently felt unworthy of such gifts. Although Joseph's intellectual limitations persisted, his steadfast faith and humble nature made a lasting impression. He became the patron saint of students and those taking exams, symbolizing that true worth is measured not by academic success, but by one's heart and devotion. Saint Joseph of Cupertino passed away on September 18, 1663, but his legacy lives on. His life continues to inspire those who face his own limitations, demonstrating that faith and dedication can overcome any obstacle. His experiences remind us that God's grace can manifest in extraordinary ways, even through those who might appear ordinary by worldly standards.